Hey guys, what is going on? It is Justin Masson from Nintendo Dads, and here we are with a little bit of Lightfall that we're going to be playing here. So we're going to click into this right now. Big thanks to the team over at Bishop Games, Bishop Games for providing us an early access copy to Lightfall. Now this has been on my radar for a little bit, and I will be honest, just a very little bit. Wasn't really aware this game existed before I saw the Nindies showcase a couple of months ago, and this was one of the games that was really actually highlighted during it. It got, not only did it get a little bit of a gameplay, a bit of a trailer, but it actually got some gameplay footage as well. So Nintendo had definitely spent some time really leaning into Lightfall. And then when I saw the game and I saw the trailer for it, it caught my attention quite quickly with the art style and then kind of this Super Meat Boy, Celeste, precision platforming kind of style associated with it. Now, we've got a little bit of an intro coming in here, so I'm going to shut up and listen to some of this narrative here and come right back to you in a couple of moments, and we're going to break down Lightfall.
The land of Numbra is a place of its own, a land where the sun never rises, a land of eternal night. For hundreds of years, we have been ignored by the rest of the world, left to slumber alone in the shadows. Our homeland is harsh and unforgiving. Only the strongest survive, while the weak get crushed. Even so, that didn't stop the Kamloops, a small and pitiful nation, from migrating here. Weary of the everlasting wars waged by their neighboring nations, the Kamloops left everything behind. Everything but a foolish hope for better days. On their quest for peace and tranquility, they sought shelter in perilous Numbra. There they would find haven in the perpetual darkness that shrouded their new home. Or so they thought. For a new threat now loomed. One that could not only engulf the Kamloops, but also plunge all of Numbra into oblivion.
All right, so there we are. We are coming out of the prologue. Welcome to Numbra is our starting sentence here, our starting levels. This is fantastic. So we're out of the prologue. First thing that pops out at me is I love this art style, this kind of cell-shaded, artistic platform or black and white world that's being created here. And even as I'm zipping through this world already, I love this play of both the background and the foreground. You know, there are objects in front of the screen. I'm running on kind of the mid-screen, and then there's obviously a fantastic background as well, kind of playing off with that moon. It's just fantastic. Beautiful, beautiful art style. I love it already. This actually very much reminds me of some of the levels in Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze with the art style of like just the silhouette, the blackness of it, and this great kind of jungle-y looking forest in a lot of ways, or settings. So this is what Numbra has associated with it here. Again, really, really fantastic job. So we're going through here. We've got a little bit of a secret passage. Kind of getting these kind of gold shatter pieces here. One of the things that I have really loved, and unfortunately because I'm talking so much through this, you're going to miss a little bit of it. But the narrator who is kind of following you along or bringing you through on this journey is just really, I think, is fantastic. And the character's name is Strix, and this is kind of cool. These little story beats that are being shown here, telling us kind of what's going on. Also, those are checkpoints along the way, which I think is a fantastic use there as well.
Run,
So this is kind of cool. We've got a little bit of a speed area coming up. We're kind of increasing our speed to get through this. We don't want to be hit by those crystals or else we will die, and we don't obviously not want to die.
What is that?
So we're moving along here.
It seems to react to the boy's
Hit another
presence.
checkpoint. Now we've got something coming on here.
What's happening?
Now this actually kind of finally gives us the really cool ability associated with this game, and it's really the ability to create kind of this one-of-a-kind platforming experience where you're jumping and actually creating the platform as you jump. So it's kind of a really cool idea. Like, you actually get to create the platforms that you're going to be jumping on. So there's a little bit of precision to it, right? Now the other thing is and when I first started playing, I wondered if this was kind of a bit of a hook to it, but you can only have the platform go for, I think it's about 4. You can kind of only call it 4 times. Then after that, there's no more. It's like, nope, you can't go any further. Now what happens is that if you then land on a solid object like I have here, that 4 then resets. So you kind of very strategically have to understand, like, where am I putting these platforms? How do these platforms get me to my next kind of actual part of the game, the actual level, the platform itself, to restart this kind of platforming idea. And it's really cool. And they call this, by the way, this is known as the Shadow Core. It's a magical box. So it's really, I find it really cool. There's some functions later that I think we may see during the gameplay where you can use it in different ways. It's not just hey, I can jump on the box and it creates platforms, but it also saves you from laser beams and can activate switches. And so it's really a multi-purpose tool for your use. So I think that's really cool. We're just zipping through this level right now. Now, a couple seconds ago, you saw me die there. That's one of the things I also really like about this. Here's a little bit of a speed. We don't want to get killed by these crystals, so we're going to get out of here as quick as we can. Putting a little bit of intensity on already, but again, very similar to games like Super Meat Boy and Celeste. You do have that quick respawn life, infinity life kind of principles. Love these little cutscenes, very simple, but telling a really great story with these cutscenes. So I definitely enjoy these.
Strix, the last night owl, saving a foolish child.
I know I've probably said it before as well. I just enjoy the art. The art style is black and white, cell shadedness as well. So very, very cool. I like it. Strix here, Strix I believe is the name of Strix or Strix? Strix maybe? Not only does he give some useful advice and kind of becomes this narrator through the story, he also tends to tell you when you fail. Makes fun of you a bit. So the Path of the Gods, we're loading that onto our next one. So obviously the first level there we did, past the prequel, is very much the tutorialization of the game, getting you to understand how it works, the meat and potatoes, if you would, of the game. So we're going to jump right in and see what else we can do on this next level.
How odd. The village looks deserted. I remember this place being occupied by the Kamloops. Does this place ring a bell, boy? Are my eyes deceiving me? Or is this poor fellow trapped inside that crystal? There's not much we can do for him now. What a mess. The way is blocked.
So this is a great example right here where we're actually going to use our box to actually get through a bit of a challenge. So here we're seeing we're actually using the box to block these laser beams, and then allowing kind of, momentarily I'm controlling the block, putting it in front of the laser, then I can kind of put control back to myself, to my character, and then continue on with the stage. So in some ways it actually allows you this kind of ability to play as almost as two characters at different points trying to accomplish what you need. There's a real teamwork essence or feeling that you get between those works as well. Of course, here's another great example using that block again. We want to use the block to actually get our gold pieces below, which is what we're going to do here. There we go, a little bit of strategic placement there. Going to grab these. Easy peasy. We're out of here. Like it. And of course, just as we're kind of getting out of this area right here, I do want to say big thanks to the team over at Bishop Games for providing us an early access code to this. We had it about 5 days earlier than was available. So great job for those guys. Thank you so much for allowing us to get access. Gives us the opportunity to kind of get our hands on it, give some review access to it, which is great. Promote it on the podcast. There we go. Hit another checkpoint. There we go. And a little bit of story associated with it as well. So we really do begin to get a bit of a story and a tale of what's going on here. So I'm going to let that play out there as well.
Since you seem to have lost your tongue, I might as well give you a history lesson. The Kamloops worship 5 divinities called celestial gods. Obviously, they didn't seem to be much of use here. Over here, this is Spherus, Dame Nature. She is one of the 5 divinities I was telling you about. Too kind and gentle for my taste.
All right, going to be using our block here again. Secure some areas. There we go. Controls are nice and tight, which I do like. I think when you do a platformer like this, you know, again, much like Super Meat Boy or Celeste, you really do need to have kind of precision ability to control your character. If it feels too loose, you're really gonna have some difficulty. In some ways, it actually reminds me of Mega Man, in that way, of that tight controls that you need to be able to accomplish what you do, or what you're doing here. Also, I like this. They are prompting you, like, for example, here we saw a boost a couple of seconds ago. They prompt you like, hey, it's the Y button. Just hit that, boom, you're off the races. So a lot of nice visual prompts, and in case you're needing that or reminding you. Now I'm playing this on the Pro controller right now, docked. Here's a little bit of work. Let's see if we can. So I died here, and again, the checkpoints I like about the fact that one of the things I like about the checkpoints is they're frequent. So they allow you to, if you do make a mistake, you're very quickly back in it. You're not having to repeat a lot. Which I think when games like this, again, Celeste, Meat Boy, there's got to be a name for these. I don't know. Maybe it's called precision platformers. I don't know. When they're built like this and they allow that quick respawn and don't make you have to repeat a level or an area over and over again, it really helps to avoid that frustration, that gamer rage or gamer frustration that games like this can very easily induce. And at no point during my playthrough of this have I felt that way, which I think is a really good testament to it. I think that the team over at Bishop Games makes it difficult enough to challenge you and to make you think, how do I use the magic boxes? How do I get them to where I need to? What platforms do I need to create to be successful? But not infuriating enough to say, there's only one way to solve this problem. And if you don't figure it out, you can't get out tough. And you just kind of, end up beating your head against the wall because it's so difficult. And I think when you have situations like that, one of two things happens, right? It's kind of the fight or flight mentality basically boiled down to gaming, where you can just very easily say, like, I'm out, right? I'm gonna rage quit, or I'm gonna just stop playing it, and I'm not gonna go back to it. And I think, again, if I keep going back to something like a Celeste, and it's unfortunate maybe that the fact that you keep comparing a game like this or this to something like Celeste or Meat Boy, but I guess I would say to that, those are fantastic games to be compared to. There's usually a really good story to be told here, a very valuable story, and whether it's valuable or whether it's engaging or entertaining. I think even as we've heard the narrator through this, it's never felt so difficult where you want to quit it. Therefore, you're engaging in the story, right? And I think that's the important point about game design, is that it grabs you enough, the story grabs you enough that you want to move forward with the story beats, but also the gameplay is not so challenging that you begin to kind of like weigh out the gameplay and your frustration versus the story. And what I would say here is that Bishop Games has done a great job of creating a world and a story that's very compelling and interesting, with a fantastic narrator, a great art style, and just a lot of fun, and a kind of a different approach to that genre. Again, hey, the ability to create your own platforms as you jump. How does this creatively make you think outside the box to solve some of these puzzles or to get through a level in different ways? And I think it's just a really unique, very cool twist on that game formula, which I think can sometimes feel very dated. And if you're a person who doesn't like, precision-based platformers, again, a la Meat Boy, a la Celeste, this may be challenging for you, but I think they do a really good job of creating forgiveness and creating the ability to go back and try again and to not feel defeated, and keeps you engaged, right? So you never want to just kind of be brutal for the sake of being brutal, and you never really get that feeling when playing Lightfall, which is absolutely fantastic. I think it's great. So we've moved on to another level here. We're just getting started here, taking a bit of a break, and we're going to move on. And I know I've said it every single time that I've started, but one of the things I do rather enjoy is, in the first 10 seconds of these levels, typically they just have you running. You just get to enjoy this beautiful art style and beautiful landscape they've created. So, I don't know. Maybe it's the artistic side of me who just keeps saying I always like games for good art style. But I think engaging creative art styles is what grabs an audience, right? It's that idea of you can't judge a book by a cover. Well, unfortunately, we very often will quickly judge a video game by its art style of what we see in there. That's the thing, that's the hook that will bring us into. Here's a great example. I talked about it earlier about actually using that magic box beyond just being a box to jump on, beyond just being a bit of a guard for the lasers, but also actually using it in an intriguing way. So in this case, we're actually kind of using it as a bit of a motor to this boat, and I'm trying to avoid these swordfish, I guess would be the best words, I think, for them here. Yeah. Oh, died. So very quickly back into it again. I kind of feel like, I know, I keep going back to Arcel here, but it feels like it's almost like Dr. Seussian. Or just kind of looking at that roof over there, how I don't like the lines and it tells so much with just being shaded, and I don't know. I'm just a fan of good art styles, folks. That's what you need, folks. Really good art styles. A couple of things I do want to say about this game as well is there is a speedrun competition portion of it as well, which is very cool. So you can actually compete with players worldwide and compare your fastest times to theirs with an online leaderboard through some of these levels. So they've done this really great job of saying hey, we want to create a compelling story, a very interesting platformer, a very different mechanic, and let's now add in something else like speedruns. And I think when you have games like this, and the other games I've mentioned in the past, speedrunning becomes a natural addition, and I think they did a really great job nicely adding that into this game as well. So I'm not really good at speedruns, I'm really, really not. But I think to have that option as somebody who's really, for people who are passionate about it, that's a great addition. So well done to the folks over at Bishop Games for that as well. There we go. I didn't die this time. That's a nice change, isn't it? Is that not a nice change? Oh, lasers. So we're going to have to deal with these lasers. Or I die. Which is not beneficial, but I digress. There I am. A couple other things I kind of want to say. Interestingly enough, Bishop Games, it's a Canadian indie studio. Just for those, for my Canadian brethren out there. Fantastic. From Quebec City, actually, I believe. So, keeping it classy up there in the Great White North, eh? So well done, Bishop Games, for being Canadian. I love that. So many good things come out of Canada, right? Poutine, Mike Myers, Wayne Gretzky, and amazing games like this. Good beer, right? So I mean, great things. Great things. Some of my favorite podcasters are Canadian. I'm gonna try and get this gold kind of crystal stuff down here. I died. You know what? Yeah, I'm not gonna go back up there. Back up here to the boat. We're going to do that truck a little bit here, that boat here again. Give that a bit of a go, shall we? So, Lightfall is currently on the Nintendo Switch eShop for $14.99 USD. That is a fantastic price for this game. Feels like it's properly balanced there. So I've decided here I'm going to forget the boat and I'm just going to do these jumps. Can I make it? Can I make it? I made it. Ha! I mean, there's a great example, right? I decided to solve the problem. Instead of taking the boat, I decided, no, I'm just going to platform jump my way across this. And sure enough, I did. Oh, I see something over there. There we go. Oh. I see me done. So yeah, $14.99 Nintendo Switch eShop came out on the end of April. I think the 26th or 27th. Yeah, you need to go in and pick this up. It's fantastic. Why would you not do that? I would recommend this if you are. I played it in docked a lot, but I did take a little bit of time to play it in handheld mode. I would recommend for handheld mode, make sure you have some headsets, some good headphones, because not only is the ambiance music really consuming and sucks you into the world and helps to set it up for you, but also, again, just the narration that you're getting throughout the game, you don't really want to miss that. That is probably one of the things here that did catch me the first time I played it, was the fact that it was all voiceover narration. I love a good voiceover. I love voiceovers. I like to do voiceovers. But if I didn't have my headset on, I was just playing it muted, I wouldn't have known that was there. So there's no dialogue box. Now, there may have been something in the settings for me to switch to say, like, hey, I also want the written dialogue as opposed to, I can read it as opposed to just listening to it as well. But I would highly recommend you listen to the soundtrack, or sorry, the music they've accompanied it with, and also listening to the fantastic narration. I'm doing this entire stage here. I'm not going to take a boat. I'm just going to platform jump this all the way. That's how we do it here at Nintendo Dads. And when we do it, we also die. We apparently die very easily. That's no fun. Let's see, can I do it? These swordfishes are kind of deadly though. They're right in that spot of. But you can find the pattern, right? Every video game's got a pattern in some way. They also jump very high. I don't know how high swordfish is. Oh, can I make that jump? All the way. Yeah, there we go. Boom. I don't know how. Whoa. Okay. Water cannons, kind of things. So you can kind of sometimes see where you can definitely see influence from speedrun elements brought into it, right? You see, there's a panic, there's something going on behind you. Again, those water cannons, you need to get through it as quickly as possible. In some ways, it actually reminds me of Shoe. Came on the platform in January, about the same idea. There's this kind of, you're doing fine, and then all of a sudden the storm comes from behind you and pushes you forward. This is creepy. That was super creepy, like zombie hands coming out of windows. Ugh. All right, let's see what's going on here. Dropping down into a level. So now this scene, this is actually the scene that, as I recall, was really played out during the Direct when Nintendo showed off Lightfall. I'm pretty sure this is the scene they were showing. But you definitely feel that pressure, right? You've got this big tidal wave. There's no real platforms for you to land on. Oh, there's a couple platforms, right? You've got swordfish things jumping out of the water. You've got these platforms with the pink spikes on it. Again, and you've got this waterfall thing coming at you. Like there's your precision, there's your anxiety, there's your oh my gosh, am I gonna die moments that you got to push yourself through. And of course, yeah, there he did. I died. I appear to be dying a lot on this, is what I appear to be. I'm not going to lie, this is a hard spot. This is a very hard spot. You've got to be good. You know what I'm saying? You got to step your game up. This could potentially be those frustrating areas. Like any game, they kind of ramp up. But also at the same time, it's not feeling so frustrated that I can't do it. It's that kind of learning the pattern of how to do it better. So those are always kind of things you want, right? Again, it's not feeling like I can't do it. It's not feeling like it's out of range. It feels like there's something I need to get a little bit better. I need to get a little more precise, and I'm learning from every death, right? Which is kind of what you want in a game like this. I'm just hoping it doesn't get to a point where I do just rage on the game and want out. But there we go. Okay, here we go. Can we get all the way? There we go. Okay. Get on that platform. Bust it. Wait for the wave. It's the wave. There we go. Okay, let's go. Jump around on my blocks. Jump around on my blocks. Jump, jump, jump around on my blocks. Don't get killed by a skeleton, kind of shadowy swordfish thing. Get to another block. Boom. In the house. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, I've got it. Like I'm finding those spots nicely. There we go. Look at those. Look at that. Mad precision. Like, oh, wave. It's a wave. It's a wave. Okay. I gotta get up there. Gotta get up there. Oh. All right. So there you go. Like that was right at the fingertips. Couldn't quite seal the deal, and I get struck down by the wave. Let's see if we can do this, folks. All right. Root for me if you're at home. If you're watching this. If you're watching this on YouTube, you know. Bet how many times I'll die before we finish the level. Maybe it's a good opportunity now to click that like and subscribe button because you are understanding how much pain we're going through to try and get this done. Okay, folks, I promise I'm going to get this done. My promise to you, before this video ends, you will see me complete this level, alright? I will beat this wave. The wave will not beat me. I feel good so far. I feel like it's my day. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like when you've got that groove, you've got the right rhythm. I feel like I have that right now. I feel like I'm flying. Right? Living the dream is what's going on right now. Dodging some of these swordfish. Pop, pop, pop. There's the boxes. Boom! Shakalaka. All the way to the top. Nope, died. Son of a biscuit box. Okay. I'm going to keep this PG. I'm not going to swear in it. Bishop Games, you're fantastic people. You're fantastic. We love you. But man, this is a tough spot. Fair play to you, sirs. Team, well done. Here we go. Come on. Ah, swordfish. I hate you. I promise before this video is done, we will get there, all right? Okay, here we go. Here we go. All the way through. Like, I get the first couple, like, real easy. Real easy. Like, it's not even, like, I got that. I got that. Wave passes, so there's a pattern. Let's go, let's go. Yeah, like, I feel like I got that speed. I feel like I got the momentum.